quick demo for you on the posing that we talked about in class for some of you. In class we talked about formal versus informal portraiture. Formal being where the photographer and the subject, like, they're aware of each other, right? The person who's being photographed knows that the photographer is there, and the photographer is giving the subject instructions. So they're telling them where to put their hands and feet. They're controlling every aspect of the photo. Whereas like a candid photo, the subject of the photo may or may not know that the camera is there, or they may or not realize that they're being photographed at the time, right? So this demo is for posing, which would be during formal photography, right? Where the subject knows they're being photographed and they're being given instructions. So one of the things we talked about for some sections of the class, but not everybody, is that there's sort of some main things to pay attention to with posing. Your subject is, you want to make sure that you're not filming, well, I'm filming, you'll be photographing. You want to make sure you're not photographing them from underneath, because people usually have boogers up their nose and you don't want to be showcasing that, right? Portraits are usually meant to try and make somebody look nice. So you want to be careful of your camera angle, like how high up above them they are or how far down below them you are. The other thing has to do with like actually posing your person. So we looked at an example photo where there was a guy and he was sitting and he was basically just like this. And the photo had good lighting and it was fine. It was okay. But this is kind of a boring pose, right? So what we want to do is when we're posing somebody for a portrait, our goal is to make sure that their four main limbs, like their two arms, hands, and legs, are all doing something at least a little different from the other body parts. So that way there's more visual interest. So for example, instead of sitting like this for a photo, right, I maybe want to put one leg up, put one forward, have one arm down and the other one maybe across it, right? Even this pose is more interesting than the previous pose. Right, so whatever you're having your subject do, you need to be paying attention to the placement of their body parts, right? So they can have a leg crossed over, an arm like this, right? Something, well, you wouldn't do this, this looks dumb, but like you could have one arm across, right? So basically your goal is to make it so that they look interesting. They can do one leg up, one crossed over, arms wrapped around, right? Whatever you're doing, you just don't want their arms and legs to be doing all the same thing the whole time, right? So like you could do two hands on top of the knee, or you could do like one like this, or wrapped around in different places. So that's one of the things to be looking for, is making sure that your subject doesn't have what I would call static body movement, okay? You want their body parts to be doing dynamic movement, meaning that they look sort of like, they look more natural, firstly, right? People don't just like sit super stiff, and also it adds interest. One other thing to pay attention to is the angle of the person's body. If I face the camera this way, this is fine, but here's the sad truth. We live in a world where people care about how large they are. And one of the things that a photographer who's taking portraits, their job is to make sure that people look their best. And in American society, looking your best means looking thinner if possible, right? So facing you straight on is fine. I'm just normal, right? But if I turn to an angle, you're now viewing me at a skinnier angle, right? Like I look thinner, right, compared to this. So that's one of the things you can do, is it's more flattering to have them be at 3/4 angle or slightly more exaggerated, okay? So body angle, posing, and camera angle as far as like how high up or down the camera is. Okay, I hope this was a little bit helpful. We haven't done an assignment for this yet. I just wanted to make this video so that way you have all the information you need. All right, talk to you later. Bye.